that when I first came here, they said, if you're going to live in a community, you want to be part of it. Nobody's done it better than Melvin Moore.
He has done that. Melvin Moore will be in the lineup for today's game, and we'll check those out as we conclude the final game of the season when we come back. Book your next trip at southwest.com. What a gorgeous day here in Baltimore at Camden Yards. It is 70 degrees for the first pitch today. Just blue skies, not a cloud anywhere. A little breeze blowing out from right to left for this ball game. So we are ready to go. The final game of the 09 regular season, and the Orioles with a chance to conclude the year with a 4-game win streak if they can get it. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Cito Gaston and the Toronto Blue Jays, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Bautista, Hill, Encarnacion, Wells, Overbay, Barajas, Ruiz, Snyder, and McDonald. Vernon Wells against the O's this year, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, the most versus any opponent.
And let's look at our PNC scouting report on Jeremy Guthrie. Well, worthwhile season. Obviously, the one-loss record not what he wanted, but can he get to 200 innings? Needs 7 2/3 innings to do that. 190 last year, so already a couple innings above that. And opposing forces, in the sense he leads the American League with 32 thrown home runs, and these guys, that's what they do now. At least lately, they get most of their runs via the home run. 206. They've hit 46 in September, and then you count October, they have 49 since the 1st of September. So Jeremy's done a good job, though, over only 2 home runs in his last 5 starts. We'll see if that holds true this afternoon.
39% of the runs Toronto scores come off homers, so something's got to give on that one. And we are underway. Bautista leading it off, playing in right field in the ball game. Jose Bautista, .233 batting average on the season. He has picked up 12 homers, 13 doubles in the extra base hit department, 39 RBIs. He has been one of those on the home run tear here to finish it up. Bautista takes the pitch up high, and a 2-ball 1-strike count.
Yeah, good fastball hitter. They've gotten him out. They've kept him in the ballpark by changing speeds, keeping it down, but not that low. It's already Guthrie in a good hitter's count. Yeah, 4 out of the last 5 games for Jose with home runs. 9 of his 12 home runs in September, October.
That is a strike on the outside corner. Jeremy Guthrie has a 1-2 mark in 3 starts this year against the Jays. Lifetime, he is 2-4 against Toronto. That is in there for a strike, and he comes back to get the K. Bautista didn't think so.
Well, he thinks it's slow. Tim Titchener doing the, and it is low. He's ready to go down, and boy, what a difference one pitch can make early in a ball game and late in a ball game. It seems like it's inconsequential, but it's not the case at all.
And one away, and the ball's going to be popped up by Hill. That'll be back and out of play. The Orioles have not had to face this lineup with both Hill and Lind in it. Lind has not started. Adam Lind is one of the leaders in RBIs in the league, along with Aaron Hill. They've combined to have a tremendous season, but Lind, who hoped to be back to play, not in the ball game today. So Hill, he's gone 2 for 8 in this series, 3 home runs, 3rd in home runs, 5th in RBIs in the American League. The 0-1 delivery by Guthrie to him, the off speed, and he was way out in front. 0-2 count. 2 really good second basemen playing in this ball game, both defensively and the offensive numbers big this year.
Yeah, and for Hill, and you know, obviously more home runs with 36. Brian has 16, but oh, good pitch right there. You know, it's a real good high ball hitter. He had a pitch to hit, fouled it off, and then Jeremy, really a different pitcher over the last 5 weeks. Just better stuff, better release, cuts that ball off the outside corner. He's been throwing a lot of cut fastballs because the slider's been inconsistent.
That ball hit in the air, left field, Encarnacion, and goodbye home run. Juan Encarnacion delivers his 2nd home run of this series against the Orioles. It is his 13th of the year, the 8th he has had since coming over to play for the Jays in a 1-0 Toronto lead.
Well, Jeremy just does what he does every once in a while, which is gets the ball in the hitter's zone. Good fastball hitter. Watch where the pitch is. Target down and away. Ball runs inside middle. This guy doesn't miss too many fastballs. I mean, he's a dead red hitter. If you get your breaking ball over, you got a chance to get him out. If you stay up in the middle of the plate, belt high, he's going to hit the ball like that. May not hit it for home runs, obviously, but he's going to have a good swing.
2 down. Here's Vernon Wells, and there's a slow roller. Guthrie will pick that one up and get the out. So Encarnacion delivers the homer off Guthrie, and Toronto takes the early 1-0 lead. Look at the starting lineup for the O's, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Dave Tremblay will have Roberts, Andino, and Wieters. Markakis, Mora, and Scott. Aubrey, Montanez, and Fiorentino for Melvin Mora. 2-time All-Star, 10 years with the O's. There are the numbers, a .280 career average.
PSC scouting report on the 24-year-old lefty. A great rookie year. I mean, anytime you win 13 games, first in quality, rookie starts 16 against the O's. Not quite as good a success. One of the 3 starts. In fact, I think he's the only guy that in the American League to start 3 games against a team and not have a win, or at least against the Orioles. But there are the numbers. He can pitch. Great changeup. His pitching coach Brad Arnsberg says a little Santana, a younger Santana at age 24.
Brian Roberts 3 for 7 off him this year, and Roberts makes it 4 for 8. Brian's got a base hit up the middle, and the Orioles get the leadoff man on.
Take a look at the defense behind Romero. Snyder, Wells, Batista. Encarnacion, he will play third. McDonald at shortstop. Hill, Overbay around the infield. Rod Barajas. Real good catch and throw with power. 19 home runs behind the plate.
Robert Andino getting the start at shortstop in this ball game. Andino's 55th start at short, as Torres finishing up extremely well at the plate in particular. And has played the shortstop for most of the year, but Andino doing the job while Torres was out. Gets a chance here in the final day. Orioles have the runner at first base. Andino's taken an 0 for 3 against Romero in the times he has faced him this season. Los Angeles native makes the soft toss over. This season against the Orioles, first outing, Romero took the loss, giving up 5 runs on 11 hits in 5 1/3 innings. He was non-decisioned in his second start. 3 runs, 7 hits. In that one, he worked 8 innings, and then his last outing got the win, as he gave up a couple of runs, 8 hits in 7 innings. So he is 1-1 this year, which is obviously his lifetime mark against the O's.
Yeah, the one number that jumps out when it comes to holding runners, 7 for 15. So he will be a guy that next spring will work on his move, hold runners close.
Roberts not going, swung on a miss. Andino on a breaking ball outside.
Yeah, that's that changeup, Gary, and just runs down and away. You know that Brian Roberts would like to steal that 30th base. 3 years ago, what, 50? Last year, 40. This year, if he comes into the game with 29, caught 7 times.
1-2 delivery, swung on and missed, and Andino's gone. So Romero gets the strikeout. 134 strikeouts in 171 innings for the 24-year-old left-hander.
Well, he's just got good ability. There's your Expo right here, slowing everything down, but that changeup slows it down even more. And Robert Andino out in front.
One away runner on at first base. Matt Wieters. Wieters has had a 2 for 9 in this series. Needs to go 5 for 5 to hit 300. He is still the leader in average, second in hits, third in RBIs, third in slugging, and fourth in on base percentage among the rookies in the American League this season. Roberts not going, the 0-1 delivery. That's going to miss, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Orioles trying to get victory number 64 to wrap up this 09 season and take a series sweep against Toronto. Roberts running, swung on and missed, throw one hot, not in time, and there is that number 30.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to guess. Against right-handers, Brian will get those big running leagues. Right here, he just goes on his first move and he just cheats. He doesn't stop him. So Barajas, who's thrown out 27 this year, no chance. Watch him hurry. Look at the quick release, but he knows he has to hurry. Ball bounces. He'll able to stay in front of it. But there it is, number 30.
So Brian in scoring position for Wieters. And Wieters swings and misses. Roberts will look to go to third, can't. Play will be made at first base on a strikeout. Put him out. 2 Ks for Romero, 2 down.
Yeah, the sum of all the parts for Ricky Romero are really good, and that's why he's won 13 games. I mean, he's got the changeup. He's already shown you that big overhand curveball. Not an overpowering guy. Doesn't throw in the mid-90s, but certainly throws in the low 90s.
Nick Markakis going for 100 RBIs. He gets the opportunity to do that with his very first at bat in this ball game. Markakis has a 3-game hit streak, 4 for 7 in the series. He is 8th in the league in hits, 6th in the American League in doubles. And Markakis with Roberts at second base and 2 down will take it inside for a ball. Among the Oriole leaders on the season, Nick Markakis in games, hits, RBI, and assists. Those are all leading numbers for the O's for 09. 1-0 delivery to him. That's going to be inside. Orioles yet another left-hander. They have had a bevy of left-handers pitch against them this year. Orioles are 23 and 37 off left-handed starters. They have lost more games to left-handers than anyone else in the American League. Kansas City one behind them with 36 losses to lefties. 2-0 delivery on the way. Another measure of why the Orioles talk so much about getting that power right-handed hitter.
Yeah, as good as Markakis is against lefties average-wise in a normal year, the power numbers definitely go down. You know, even when Aubrey Huff was here, the average would be good, but not as many home runs and not as the high slugging percentage that you would like.
Fouled away. The Detroit Tigers and Minnesota Twins continue to battle to the final day for the division. Detroit has taken a 3-0 lead over the White Sox in the third inning. If they win, that's it. It's theirs. Minnesota's got to win and Detroit's got to lose to force a playoff game on Tuesday. The Twins will play starting in about 20 minutes. That ball is fouled off at the plate. So the Twins are going to know when their game starts at home against Kansas City that the Tigers are in the third inning leading at 3-0.
And that's Justin Verlander pitching for the Tigers. Now, I don't know if there's anything as a done deal, but boy, the kind of year he's had. And you know, what if he's throwing normal on a normal night, 99 to 101? What do you think it's going to be today?
110.
Could be.
2-2 count of Markakis. Roberts off second. That will be fouled away. Playoffs starting today would look like this. Red Sox will be on the road against the Angels. It would be either Detroit or the Twins against the Yankees. The Rockies are the wild card. They will play the Phillies in Philadelphia, and the Cardinals will go to the West Coast to take on the Dodgers. The Dodgers wrapped up their division title with a victory in last night's ball game. 2-2 delivery, and the breaking ball is inside. The Yankees will decide whether they want to start on Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday is the longer series as far as more days off. They have all but made it official that they will start on Wednesday.
Yeah, and I think that forces the other team. It looks to me that you're going to have to use all your starters, at least 4 of them.
And the Yankees want to do that. That ball is fouled back against the opponent, no matter it be Detroit or Minnesota.
Yeah, I copied it today, and if it would be Verlander, he wouldn't pitch if it started on Wednesday probably till Friday because he pitched today. And whoever's going to start for the Twins, you would see Verlander twice, but you might be able to win in 4 games and see all your starters.
Yep.
That would seem to make the most sense.
3-2 count. Roberts, real good lead at second base. Markakis deep to right field. 101 RBIs. Goodbye. Home run. And the Orioles have a 2-1 lead.
Well, that was pretty crisp. 6 home runs hit here on Friday night. Already now 2. Fastball, middle of the plate. Very much what happened against Jeremy Guthrie when Encarnacion got one, and this ball is just crunched over the SK sign in right field out into the flag court.
Orioles Expo brought to you by Famous Dave's Real Honest Barbecue. Well, congratulations to Nick Markakis. And the Orioles get the lead. And Melvin Moore, first ball hitting, will pop that one up to first base, high sky, and played there by Overbay. So Nick Markakis delivers the homer for Markakis, number 18 on the year, RBIs 100 and 101, and the Orioles lead it 2-1. worth of American Classic scratch-off tickets from the Maryland Lottery for every home run hit today, which Lyle Overbay isn't going to do. Popped up second base. Ryan Roberts puts it away, and Overbay is retired. $99 worth of American Classic scratch-off tickets from the Maryland Lottery. You could have had a chance to win too, but there aren't any more games, so you'll have to wait till next year. So good luck, Jim. Barajas. Here's Rod. Barajas has had a 1 for 3 in the 2 games that he has played in this 3-game set. Pitch is taken outside. Cito Gaston funny this morning. Cito was like, tell your manager, tell Dave I'm really happy for him. I'm really honestly glad that it's done right. He said I gave him a thumbs up, but I've been dealing with a few things over here myself, so I haven't had a chance to talk to him. I said, no kidding.
Yeah.
Like your job, your new GM, owners here in Baltimore with meetings. Cito's back, so's Dave. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Off the end of the bat and foul back. Barajas 1-2.
Well, you go back to what Paul Beeston said. He said Cito most likely would be back, and he has a 1-year deal, so I suppose it could change.
Well, the only way it could change, Paul said, was that there's going to be a new CEO. Paul Beeston's going to step down as CEO. He's been acting on an interim basis. Many thought he would come back, but Paul has said no, so they're going to name a new CEO, and Paul said the CEO will have a right to say he doesn't want the GM that I've selected and make a change, but highly unlikely since ownership was involved in that decision. 1-2 delivery is taken outside, a slider from Guthrie, and a 2-ball 2-strike count. We're talking about the playoffs. One series will start on Wednesday, and that's probably going to be that New York series, and then the Red Sox and Anaheim Angels rather will have to wait, and they'll go the other day, which is probably going to be Thursday. The Yankees will have 1 hour after the concluding game, so if Detroit won today, they have an hour after the game's done to make their decision which series they want to play in. Melvin Mora high, and tag, good play by Aubrey. Barajas retired, 2 down. A new Orioles tradition begins this spring. The birds fly south to the new spring training home in Sarasota, Florida. Visit Orioles.com right now. Sign up to receive the very latest news on tickets and travel packages. You can make your plans to enjoy the sun and fun of spring training 2010 in Sarasota. Visit Orioles.com for all the details. Ruiz up, takes the ball to center. Fiorentino over his head. Did not get a good look at that. And that will be a double. That was a ball playable. Had Fiorentino had a good eye on that, I think he might have been able to catch it, but he didn't.
Yeah, anytime a ball's hit right over your head, you better turn the right way, and you better see it. And I don't know if he does that.
Ball almost hit him.
Yeah. I think once it gets up there and you don't get a good beat on it, it's all over. I mean, if you're ever going to play deep, you usually try to do it with 2 outs, just to make sure a ball doesn't get over your head. Of course, down in Tampa Bay with that 1-run lead, he was playing so deep that a ball fell in front of him. But he usually gets pretty good jumps. That was not one of those cases.
Day games continue to be so unusual for players, almost only on Sunday, and it's just different. Playing on a day like today with that high sky and a wind blowing to left. Swung on a miss by Snyder. Snyder's had a couple of hits and 7 at-bats here in this series.
Yeah, you'd like to think that the Orioles, they will talk in the offseason, and Dave Tremblay would plan a little bit better on the road. Second straight year they haven't done very well on the road.
Third base, Melvin Mora, he's having trouble finding it, and the wind's blowing it. Makes the play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. It'll be Scott, Aubrey, Montanez coming up. Carolyn Weedle has done great work with our production. Andy Wardring working in the truck. Gene Matthews, Steve Baldwin, our graphics people, Adam Dembeck, Lindsay Schaefer, Rod, we keep busy, Winley, and he's going to England soon. James Turner, Tom Newman, who is not here today, just part of our great crew here at Masson that have worked so hard all year to bring you these baseball games, and we are delighted to have a chance to say thank you to them for the great work they've done.
Yeah, boy, do they make our jobs less difficult.
You got that right. A towering fly ball by Luke Scott to right field, not deep. Bautista's got it. Scott's retired, one down.
Yeah, Luke would like to add to that home run total. Already 2 more than he did last year. Take a page out of it. Kind of the irony, I guess, in the first inning is that your 2 core players, the guys you have signed long term, Roberts and Markakis, they get you, after Guthrie gives up the home run, they get you the lead. And you hope that's going to happen next year on many occasions.
Wind blowing right to left. He's going to play some of these balls. Snyder right there hauls it in. Michael Aubrey on the fly ball out. 2 down here in the second inning.
Yeah, really gusty afternoon. Gary Thorne told you, I mean, maybe a couple puffy clouds maybe coming in, but and again with the warehouse here, the wind looks like it's blowing from left to right, but you just never know in this ballpark.
Nope. Flags on the flagpole are blowing left to right to left. The flags on the scoreboard are blowing left to right. Lou Montanez coming up. Montanez making the start in left field. 3 hits, 8 at bats in the series so far. The Orioles against left-handers this year hitting .256. They are .276 off right-handers. 1-0 delivery. That'll be chopped foul. 1 ball, 1 strike count off Romero. You're around. The Orioles schedules are out, by the way, your pocket schedules for 2010. Keep an eye out for them. They are the preliminary ones, but they have the schedule on it. Some game times and broadcast conditions are not necessarily on there, but the schedule's still there.
I'll start down in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay and then Toronto, Tampa Bay at home, and then out to the West Coast.
Tell you what's there is a section on this schedule. There are a couple sections on this schedule, but there's one that grounded to second. We'll talk about it when we get back. It'll be played by Hill for the out. Montanez is retired. A 1-2-3 inning. It remains the Orioles 2 and the Blue Jays 1. By Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by PNC. PNC leading the way. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer here at Camden Yards. The Orioles up 2-1 third inning. John McDonald, a number 9 hitter, will take a strike on the outside corner. Warren McDonald, a 4 for 8. Good series against the O's. That pitch will miss from Jeremy Guthrie. We're talking about the Orioles schedule. They only have to go up the road from Sarasota about an hour. to get to Tampa Bay to start for 3 games down there. But then towards the end of April, they're on a road trip. Oakland, Seattle. They have a day off coming home. They start against the Red Sox for 3 on the road, the Yankees for 3 at home, the Red Sox for a couple at home, the Yankees for 3 on the road. They play Boston, New York, Boston, New York. That's a tough set, especially coming back from the West Coast. 2-2 delivery on the way. That'll go to right. Markakis there. 1 down. Take a look. The opening day at Tampa Bay, and then the home opener is against Toronto on the 9th. First New York-Boston homestand starts the 27th of April. On May 6th, 4 games, the new stadium in Minnesota. The interleague schedule's interesting with the Mets, Florida, Washington at home. And the back-to-back will be played with Washington. Home and road games, San Francisco and San Diego.
Yep.
Which will be a great trip. 0-1 delivery. Foul back by the leadoff batter, Bautista.
Yeah, the general manager, Kevin Towers, it seems like he's been there forever. Got him to the World Series. He was let go. I hate to use the word fired. Just dismissed.
Dismissed. 0-2 delivery.
There's a lot of stuff going on in that franchise. Ownership and so on. So
beautiful new ballpark, great location, beautiful weather, of course, San Diego to play ball, but it's not working very well right now as they struggle. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Bautista struck out his first time up, that one to short, and a base hit. Andino diving, could not get to it. That'll be the 3rd hit for the Jays. Bautista a single. Get a jump on the 2010 season by making your deposit now for Orioles full or partial season plans. You can enjoy some great savings and a full range of exclusive orange carpet benefits. Make your deposits now. You get an autographed picture of Matt Wieters. Experience the best in savings, VIP access, and more. Full or partial plans, 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com. Bautista diving back in. Jeremy Guthrie against Aaron Hill, the number 2 hitter. He struck out first time up. Pops that one up shallow left center. Andino back and makes the basket catch.
Made it look easy. I don't know if there's any easy pop fly or fly ball tonight because of the wind and the sun. Or this afternoon tonight. Certainly not night here.
No, certainly isn't. Great day to be at the yard, though. Knew I had it all along. 2 down. Encarnacion inside hitting on the jersey. He had a home run his first time up.
Yeah, you want to move a fastball. That guy raked you for a home run the last time, but you don't want to hit him, especially with 2 outs. Just make your pitches. He runs a 2-seamer down at his ankles and must have either hit him on the uniform or somewhere. It wasn't a Delman Young getting hit. Yeah, just grazed the front of his, looks like his front thigh. Yep.
So Guthrie, the 9th hit batter he's had this year. And now Vernon Wells with 2 on and 2 down. Wells grounded out his first time up. An incredible .209 batting average with runners in scoring position for someone who's been one of the game's outstanding hitters over the last decade. And he pops that one up. Third base. Melvin Moore has got it. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 are left on base. Guthrie gets out of the jam. The Orioles have the lead. is the arrival of Matt Wieters, end of May. Wieters going behind the plate, working on D first, calling a game, and then taking care of the at-bats. First home run, June 17. And Matt Wieters has done nothing but progressively climb upward in all phases of his game. And Matt will be there to start 2010 behind the plate and in the lineup, maybe in that number 3 spot.
Yeah, you really don't know. I would suppose depend on who you acquire or don't acquire, but he's proved he can hit in the 3rd spot.
He'll be in that 3, 4, 5 somewhere.
Yeah, you would think comfortably maybe 5th or 6th, but you got a lot of choices.
Yep. Love having those. Here's Fiorentino.
Pretty nasty right there. Jeff Fiorentino, you talked about it over the last couple of weeks. He proved that he can help a major league team. Again, I don't know if it's going to be the Orioles. Non-roster guy going to spring training and didn't even go to the big league camp and had a very good AAA year. Hit 312, hit some home runs.
He's done really well against lefties. Limited chances, 7 out of 20. But this one he's bailing on. And Romero gets the strikeout. That is his 3rd. Let's take a look at our Ford prospect player profile, brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Zach Britton, 3rd round draft pick by the Orioles in 06, Weatherford High School in Texas. A lefty on the mound, good size, played at Frederick, 9-6, 2.7 ERA, and had 24 starts there.
You know, I try to talk to as many advanced scouts to get to see these players, and they love Zach Britton. They said he can get it into the middle 90s and has a good feel for pitching, and he's left-handed. So don't get too comfortable if you think you're going to be on the big league roster unless you prove it. And that's what you want. Boy, you
push.
You want competition.
Yep. Brian Roberts had a single his first time up. Brian would steal a base as well, his 30th, and then come around to score when Nick Markakis delivered the home run, giving the Orioles the 2-1 lead. Romero's delivery, that'll be down the right side and out of play.
You really want players like Ricky Romero. I mean, when you look at whether it's Jeff Neiman to Tampa Bay, I mean, this kid out of Los Angeles, but had a chance again to Cal State Fullerton and played in the College World Series, in the big leagues in about 3 years, #1 draft choice, and had success all the way along. Actually, in 2007 missed a portion of the year because he had elbow and shoulder problems, but he just knows how to pitch.
He had a string this year of 24 consecutive scoreless innings. It was ended on July 6th. It is the longest scoreless inning streak by a starter this year in the American League, even better than Zach Greinke and Roy Halladay's streaks. And Roberts will chase that one up high. 2 strikeouts here in the inning, 4 in the game.
And he really can add and subtract with his fastball. We've already seen the changeup and the curveball, the slider. Fiorentino went down, and right there's Brian Roberts led it off with a single the first time. Markakis brought him home with a home run. It just has a nice feel for pitching. And Brad Arnsberger's pitching coach, and you talked about attitude, he said he had to have a little yell out on the mound in Yankee Stadium, asking him how good he really wanted to be and how much effort he wanted to impart into that start. Pretty intimidating sometimes when you first get to the big league. And Brian Butterfield, their bench coach.
That one grounded towards second base. Hill is up, makes the play, and a 1-2-3 inning for Romero. That's going to be 7 in a row. He's retired. Orioles lead it 2-1. Appreciation Weekend has gone on all weekend, these 3 games. The Oriole fans enjoying a chance to meet some of the players, getting literally the jersey off their backs prior to the game. Watch how this one fits. Great job. And then some got to go out with the national anthem, stand with the players out on the field. Melvin Moore, just part of fan appreciation. AT&T, nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. And the pitch is taken outside as Guthrie looking for his 11th win, trying to get to that 200 innings pitch mark. He's up to 195. That one's going to be to right. Roberts back, and he's got it off the bat of Overbay.
Yeah, great luxury for Brian Roberts that he can play deep because Overbay doesn't have a lot of speed. Otherwise, that ball gets over his head. But he made it look easy. He's almost starting on the grass, and so he just has to backpedal and make sure that he gets a good read. You can see how quickly he got out there because he was playing so deep.
Overbay retired, 1 down. Barajas grounded out his first time up. Jeremy Guthrie here at home, 5-8 this year at Camden Yards. Lifetime 11 wins, 20 losses in this ballpark, 4.43 ERA. Jeremy's got 27 wins, 34 losses now in his career. 30-year-old right-hander, and the 0-1 is taken outside for a ball, 1-1.
I had a chance to talk to Rick Kranitz, the Oriole pitching coach, and when Jeremy did, after having some shoulder problems and have to be shut down, even though he pitched 190 innings last year, he said he talked to Marcel Latchman, who was a pitching coach for the World Baseball Classic, Davey Johnson, the manager, and he said, boy, wait till you see Guthrie. He's going to keep the ball down, pound the strike zone. And Marcel called him. He said he's not pounding the strike zone and he's not keeping the ball down. So really for Jeremy this year, after the shoulder problems, it started. And when he got to the big league camp, didn't throw the ball very well, was pushing it. That might have been in bad habits of last year. Won his first 2 games. But the one thing about Jeremy Guthrie, you will get everything he has. He does prepare and he keeps at it. Now, is he the same pitcher he was last year? He knows he's not. More of a fly ball pitcher. I mean, even this game, only 2 outs on the ground other than the 2 strikeouts. So if you don't make your pitches and you're a fly ball pitcher in the American League, in this ballpark, tough to be successful. No.
Got him on that one, and Guthrie will get his 3rd strikeout. And Barajas retired, 2 down. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield makes a donation to the Seed School of Maryland for every strikeout recorded by the Orioles this season. Over 290 strikeouts. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield will donate over $23,000 to the Seed School. We want to thank Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield for the commitment to improving the health of the kids in the community through wellness and education programs. 2 down, nobody on, 4th inning. Ruiz had a double his first time up, takes that one in the air to right center field. That is deep, and that is going to take a hop, come off the top of the wall. It will be a double. Ruiz has got 2 doubles and 2 at-bats here in the ballgame.
Well, I can tell you where the wind's blowing. It doesn't take long to realize this guy's big and strong. I mean, he's got a home run every 11 times at the bat, 10 of them in 111, 112. So he just reaches out and the wind takes it, and Markakis can't come up with it. So it's going to be a double, 2-out double.
Had a 2-out double in the 2nd inning and ended up being stranded. Now we'll see what happens here. 6th double of the season, veteran minor league catcher. And a strike taken. Snyder, runner at second, representing the potential tying run in this ball game. With the Orioles up by a score of 2-1, Jays about hit the O's 4-2 so far. That'll miss just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Snyder 5 for his last 18 at the plate. Rookie will take that one inside, and a 2-ball 1-strike count.
Had a couple of hits last night. Did it off the lefty. We saw him hit a home run down the left field line. Just flew out to left, but it went about 10 rows up in Toronto when the Orioles were up there last week.
The 2-1 is ripped. It is a tie game. Ruiz will come around to score. Snyder's on his way to second base. So back-to-back doubles with 2 down tie the ball game up. Snyder gets his 29th run batted in on his 14th double.
Only 21 years old, and watch this hanging changeup, and this is what you like from a #1 draft choice, a quick bat. He is all over the changeup, keeps it fair, and that will tie it up. So a couple of 2-out doubles will tie this game up.
The home run Encarnacion got with 2 down in the first inning. The RBI here comes with 2 down, and here's John McDonald. Flying to right his first time up, runner at second and 2 away. This Toronto team's been hammering the baseball all year, but particularly over the last couple of weeks. They had that 6-game win streak coming in here. The Orioles, of course, have won the first 2.
Yeah, in this lineup, John McDonald has the highest runner in scoring position average. Just amazing. I mean, Batista's at 170 and Encarnacion at 189. Wells at 209. Overbay is down there under 210. Remarkably low numbers.
That's one of the reasons the offense has been able to get people on base, but they've not been able to get them home, and that's why they've lost 86 games. 2-1 delivery on the way is going to be popped up. Wieters battling the sun, and he's got it. Well, McDonald is retired, but an RBI double by Snyder has tied this ball game up 2-2. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by Sarasota Convention and Visitors Bureau. Go beyond the beaches. Final day of the 2009 season. And the baseball gods have certainly brought the great weather to wrap this one up on a beautiful day here at Camden Yards. 2-2 ball game now. Wieters will stand in. Wieters struck out his first time up. Romero no walks and 4 Ks. Guthrie no walks and 3 Ks. Orioles 2 runs 2 hits. The Jays 2 runs on 5 hits. That will miss inside from Romero, and the count will go to 2-0. Wieters down to third and foul. The Orioles offense, they are 5th in average, 10th in runs, so they're going to finish 12th in homers. They did not steal as many bases as they wanted. 12 among the 14 American League teams. Got their strikeouts cut down, but didn't get a lot of walks on the season, and they ranked 9th in slugging and 8th in on-base percentage. So those are the kind of areas where the Orioles will try and move up.
Yeah, the one constant in the last 2 years is that runners in scoring position, number 287 coming into this game. That was 2 years ago, and then this year 285, which is a real good number. I think that's in the top 3 in the American League. Last year they were second at 287. But the home runs, boy, when you play in the American League East, you better hit the long ball. Either that or really pitch.
And got him, Wieters. That's the 5th strikeout.
Yeah, he's saying that ball went around the outside corner. We saw him about 10 days ago take a real long walk but it wasn't on strike two. So that ball right on the edge, or at least close enough for Tim Titchener to call it.
Here's Nick Markakis. Nick delivered a long ball.
Did he ever? Got a fastball in the middle of the plate, and all of a sudden the Orioles go up 2-1.
He stung that one in left in a hurry. Grounds this one to first base. Overbay takes it to the bag. Markakis is retired. 2 down, 4th inning.
Well, you can always talk about the difficulty of coming in, and I think we saw that. He got behind Brian Roberts. He signaled to center field. He got a ball in the middle of the plate to Nick Markakis. So the 2 runs all came in the first, and he settled down. And that's what you want to do with young pitchers or veterans. I mean, how about Mark Hendrickson last night? They get the lead on a balk. A lot of guys would be unsettled. He just settled down, kept them in the game. Offense came back with a 4-run inning. The Orioles end up winning.
This one grounded to short by Melvin Mora. John McDonald makes the play and gets the out. And a 1-2-3 inning. So Romero's got it on cruise control right now. It's 10 in a row retired. Great 2010 Orioles pet calendar. 16 months, favorite players, along with some lovable dogs and cats. Proceeds benefit the Maryland SPCA and their work with local homeless pets. You can get your Orioles pet calendar by going to Orioles.com today. Jose Bautista will lead it off against Guthrie here in the 5th inning. Bautista 1 for 2 with a single. And will take the pitch down low for a ball. He's had a couple of hits and 10 at bats, including a home run in this series. 12 on the year for him. 1-0 pitch, left field and deep, and goodbye, home run. 13 on the year, 2 in this series. And Bautista gives Toronto the lead back at 3-2.
So that's now 5 in 6 games. We talked about opposing forces in our PNC scouting report. Guthrie now with 34 home runs on the year. So look where the pitch is. I mean, he misses his spot by 1.5 foot. Greg Zahn, when he was catching, he was just saying you can almost tell how Jeremy's going to pitch if you look at where the catcher's glove is. If he's in that neighborhood, he's got a chance to be successful. He wasn't there.
So a 3-2 lead. 2 home runs in the ball game. Encarnacion and Bautista get them. That ball will be popped up first base side by Hill. Michael Aubrey is there, 1 away.
See, that's the difference of a high fastball in on somebody's fist. And we're talking about a guy with 36 home runs versus 1 out over the plate.
We were talking about the power in this division and the need to be able to hit home runs if you're going to compete in the Eastern Division of the American League. Encarnacion stands in. He takes it to center field. Fiorentino going back. Battling the sun, doesn't see it. And that'll be a double. Boy, it has been a tough day for Jeff Fiorentino in center field. He's just not been able to see the ball coming off the bat. And that another one that was playable hits behind him and goes over the wall.
Yeah, if you don't see it, it's too late. And the wind kiting it, so just blowing it over your head. I mean, if you get a good read, you catch it. If you don't, it should be an error, but it won't be. It will be a double. You're already trailing by 1, so it makes it more difficult for Jeremy Guthrie.
And you got to face Wells. Runner on at second, 1 down. Wells 7 for 21 lifetime off Guthrie with 2 home runs. There's that high sky, just no clouds around. And the pitch is taken outside. Talking about home runs in the East. Boston is 3rd in homers in the American League. The Yankees, of course, are 1st. Tampa Bay is 5th, and Toronto's 4th. So you've got 4 of the top 5 home run hitting teams in the American League East that are in the American League. If Fiorentino gets another chance, Vernon Wells will be retired. The other team that's in the top 5 is Texas.
Yeah, and they play in a somewhat home run oriented ballpark, and that's their philosophy. You better drive the ball if you're going to hit for Rudy Jaramillo, the hitting instructor down there.
2 down here. Encarnacion remains at second base. Lyle Overbay has popped out twice.
And just remember, Josh Hamilton was hurt most of the year, and they still were 2nd in home runs.
First ball hitting again, left field. Montañez. He's going to put that one away. But the home run by Bautista, the 2nd of the ball game off Guthrie, gives the Jays the lead back by 1. Working all season long in the truck. Mike Zimmerman, our TD technical director. On audio, Wayne Getz, Ali Gawavagansky. I wouldn't kid you. And Nate Cisna. Tim Gang. That's Matt Stelfman, who's on our RoboCam, our video with Bob Gray, Al Bonilla. Sean Haley is not here today working with us. Jeff Britton on camera. Guys who take the shots: Ed Walsh, Mo Brown, Terry Wallace, Kevin Santos, Neil Milton. Oh, great. That's a good way to get a shot.
Now you know
to take a shot of himself.
Yeah.
Phil's the guy that runs around all over the field and around the park and gets shots of people like that.
Now we know why he's wearing the helmet.
Oh my gosh. Someone's got to keep you loose. He pretty much does. Where's Don? Where's the producer? Huh? She gets to decide everybody has to get a shot taken, and then she doesn't have her picture taken.
No, she's going to be on the Diamond Vision.
D'Agostino does our producing. Won't have her picture shown. Shame on you. Luke Scott. And Luke will take the pitch for a strike.
So more RBIs. Boy, what an improvement he's done. 10 home runs of the 25 on left-handed pitching. Last year, a little bit over 200.
Luke's had the bad foot, missed the first 2 games. Doesn't want to give up an at-bat. Didn't like the call. Tom Tishner's moving this thing along behind the ball.
Yeah.
2-ball, 2-strike count.
It was like, we used to travel across the country to Fort Myers from Miami to play the Royals, and they were, Charlie Lau was a batting instructor along with Brett and Willie Wilson with 230 hits, and Hal McRae. And,
got him.
Yep.
He really didn't like that one.
And you'd go over there and they'd swing at the first pitch, and the strike zone would be really big for you, and then when the season starts, they're not going to be swinging at first pitches, and the umpires aren't going to give you those close pitches. Again, the edges today, all the balls on the edges of the plate are going for the pitcher. Well, you don't have to say anymore. Body language, it tells you right there.
Pretty much said it all. Strike on the inside corner. This is Aubrey. Michael Aubrey flied out to left field his first time up.
And of course, you know, the part of the equation of getting those pitches to be somewhere close to the strike zone.
That one to the gap in right center field will be hauled in by Vernon Wells. And there are 2 down here in the 5th inning. Romero looking for win number 14. This ball game may be the last home run hit is the winner. The way it's going, Marquez, the 2 RBI homer for the Orioles, accounting for their runs. RBI homer on Encarnacion, one by Bautista, and a double by Snyder for the 3rd RBI.
Yeah, but the Orioles only 2 hits, and that happened in the 1st inning. Romero's, there is nothing to indicate to me as a rookie pitcher that he would not have more success in this year. It's just, his stuff's that good.
12 in a row have been retired by Romero. Left-handers hit .303 off him on the year, and right-handers .281.
Well, obviously he doesn't throw those breaking balls he threw to Jeff Fiorentino. They wouldn't be hitting over 300.
Yeah. He struggled on the road a bit, 5-5. ERA still not bad though on the road, 4.13. He has had a problem getting leadoff batters out, only 54%. But in this ball game, Brian Roberts got on leading off the 1st inning, and that's the only leadoff batter the Orioles have had on.
Well, just think about the guy when he's not pitching, and the guy that's not pitching that he gets to sit next to, Roy Halladay. I don't care if you're right-handed or left-handed. You can learn so much about the things you talked about. Getting the importance of getting the leadoff guy off. They make your pitches, get the ground ball when you need it, strike out when you need it. The intensity when you need it. That's what a veteran pitcher does. Yep.
Has got Fiorentino's bat, lines it to short. McDonald's got it. That's 13 in a row, retired by Romero. Sets the Orioles down again, 3-2. Jays lead. For a special evening at the Meyerhoff Symphony Hall, a tribute to Brooks Robinson is going to take place October 26th. Tickets are $55 for the program, $105 for the program, and the special pre-event cocktail reception. The proceeds benefit the Sports Legends Museum. $5 from each ticket goes to the American Cancer Society. That's going to be on October 26th. Everybody in a hurry today. Slider taken outside. Barajas, he struck out and grounded out. A 3-2 lead for the Jays. Guthrie jammed him, foul back, and a 2-strike count. Detroit still leading the White Sox 4-0, 6 innings. Minnesota knew that when they started their game. Minnesota has a 4-0 lead over Kansas City. Detroit, if they win all over, the division is theirs. If they lose and Minnesota wins, playoffs Tuesday. Foul back, 0-2.
Yeah, I saw 4 o'clock, or maybe they'll move it tonight, night game. And what, the Red Sox and the Angels, they'll work out in Anaheim, and not knowing whether they're going to play Wednesday or Thursday. What, the Yankees have to an hour after the last game today to make that decision you talked about?
Because they're the best record in the league, so that's their choice. The other games, the National League games, will both start on Wednesday. The Dodgers, they'll be opening at home. Philadelphia, they'll be at home to play Colorado. Swung on and just fouled off at the plate.
It's a pretty nice game. I went home and watched it last night. 0-0 through 6 innings. How about Clayton Kershaw? What a little tune-up for the postseason. He's in his early 20s. Struck out the first 5 Rockies, and then pitched 6 shutout innings when you're around 21. That'll get you going.
Rockies will have to play on the road at Philadelphia for that Wednesday game. The Cardinals, of course, on the road to take on the Dodgers. The Dodgers not only wrapped up the division, but the best record in the National League with their win. 1-2 again. Jammed him.
We talk so much about not that many teams, especially in the American League, win on the road. 3, maybe 3 teams in the entire American League out of 14 teams. But I think that changes when you get to the postseason, because the pitching matches is yours against your best against theirs. The intensity level certainly goes up.
1-2 delivery, and the temperature generally goes down. So hitting gets a little bit tougher.
It does. And if you looked at Philadelphia 2 years ago, they led the league in runs scored, and then they played those twilight games. You want to know how difficult it is to hit in the twilight, the shadows, and changes everything.
High fly ball to right.
I would tell you what, Jeremy Guthrie, he's got outstanding stuff. He's gotten 2 balls in the middle of the play today, and he's paid for it. And that's the home run.
Barajas on the fly ball out. 1 down. Guthrie retires him, and he'll work to Ruiz and Snyder. Ruiz, 2 doubles. He's got a 7-game hit streak to wrap up the season. This veteran minor league catcher takes the pitch inside for a ball. That ball's going to be shot out into left field for a base hit. So the 30-year-old rookie is 3 for 3 here in this ball game, and has had a tremendous last month of the year since his call up. Does anybody take a look at a guy like that he's a minor league career ball player?
Well, this is the perfect league for him to play in. I mean, I think if you can make your pitches, and we saw it when Hendrickson did it. But again, he's a big, strong guy, and he's a real good fastball hitter. Now, obviously, there are guys that can, get him out with different stuff.
Guthrie may have caught a piece of that. There's one, and a fine play by Andino. Gets the double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. This one skipped a little bit off the side of the mound, but brought him right to the bag.
A summary ball flying here at Camden Yards. Encarnacion, he hits a home run. Vic Markakis will give the Orioles a 2-1 lead with his 18th of the year, 101 RBIs, and then Batista will tie it. He's now hit 5 home runs in the last 6 games. Orioles had him for a brief while back in 2004.
Fiorentino's trying to convince his body that it wants to do what his mind is telling it to do, and that's stay in against this left-hander. And it's not responding well.
Well, open stance, he's just got to make sure. You know, I talked to Paul O'Neill, and I asked him after he'd won a batting title and hit 300 5 straight years. I said, how do you hit lefty so well? He said, well, Don Mattingly told me you got to hit the ball left field. And until you get to 2 strikes, you have to hit the breaking ball that starts at you, not starts in the middle of the plate. And that's what happened the last time. He swung at the ones early on in the count to start in the middle of the plate, and they ended up about 3 feet outside.
It's tough. Yeah, you know what you got to do, but that stupid left arm on the mound looks like it's coming right at your head. And
that really does not mean that, again, Jeff Fiorentino could not play at the big league level. You just wouldn't match him up against the tough lefties. No. Palmeiro used to sit down. And
that's why you lean away.
Yeah, when you roll into that one and take the bruise and try to get on, because it's probably the only way it's going to happen. Even though if you know Jeff Fiorentino, he is going to battle you. I mean, this is his style.
1-2 delivery by Romero to him, and that'll be taken down low. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Strikeout victim his first time up. 6 on the board for Romero in the ball game in terms of Ks. He's had as many as 9 strikeouts.
Well, the impressive thing, he hasn't walked anybody as it.
There's a base hit. Fiorentino hangs in and wins the battle. The Orioles get a leadoff single that will end the 13th in a row retired streak for Romero.
And he's telling John Shelby, I did hang in there. Finally gets a fastball to hit in the middle of the plate. That's what Markakis hit. Watch, by a great angle right there, how he gets the front foot down. So he's set to hit, hands stay back. He's ready to let the ball travel deeply and then just pings it up the middle.
Fiorentino on with the base hit. That is the Orioles' 3rd. And their first since the first inning. Here's Brian Roberts. Brian had a single to lead off the Orioles part of the first inning, and he's going to get another one right here. Takes that one to left, played in by Snyder. 2 on, nobody out, 6th inning for the O's.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that Robert Andino is going to come to the plate and bunt. If he's not, I mean, again, this is Brian Roberts, fastball in the middle of the plate, just like he did the first time. So you're down by 1. You want Guthrie, if you're Dave Tremblay, to reward him for his 200 innings or close to it. And I always thought if they bunted for me and tried to get the lead, that's telling you, hey, I think you can pitch well and deep enough to give us a chance to win.
And that ball's going to get away, got lost, but right in the feet of Barajas, and he finds it, and Fiorentino has to stay.
Yeah, that's the difficulty. Before the DH used to get on base, used to pinch run. This ball goes down in the dirt. You don't know where it goes. You don't know if it's behind him. You don't know if it's between him and the umpire. So you're already in scoring position, and you don't want to get thrown out.
That one went off the umpire's foot, the catcher's foot, then stopped right there. Showed bunt. They're playing bunt again. He does square. Takes the pitch. It will miss. And the count will go to 2-0.
And when you're a runner on second base and somebody is trying to bunt you over, you're trying to get the good lead. You get the primary lead, then that secondary lead. If a guy bunts through a ball, it is easy to get picked off of. It seems like it's pretty simple. Wait till he bunts, but sometimes you just don't know if he's going to bunt it or not.
And Dino looking for his first sacrifice. That was in the dirt. And the count goes to 3-0. And Romero, who had it on Cruz coming into the inning, all of a sudden, a couple of hits and a 3-0 count on the next batter.
Boy, if you've been around the game, you know how precarious a 1-run lead is, especially in the American League.
Especially the way these teams are hitting home runs, both of them.
The way the wind's gusting here.
So at 3-0, that's just a take all the way and not even close. First walk surrendered by Romero, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
But if you're Cito Gaston, you're saying, well, you know, it's a rookie pitcher, a lot of innings, but they're going to give you an out. He just couldn't throw enough strikes to get the out.
Now Matt Wieters will get the chance with the bases loaded. Single, Fiorentino the lead runner. Single, Roberts at second. Walk, and Dino at first. Matt Wieters in the game has struck out twice, once swinging and once called. The Orioles are down a run, but have got a great chance here to get this lead back on their side. Wieters will take the pitch for ball one. Matt has gone 3 for 9 with the bases loaded, all singles, 6 RBIs, with the sacks full as he has them right now.
And I don't know if Phil Romero was paying attention, but Wieters hit a 3-run home run of left-handed David Percy on a changeup the other night. And that was the 3rd time up. Gave the Orioles a 7-4 lead on Friday night.
Romero can't find the strike zone now. That's 6 in a row that he's missed on.
Well, Gary, this is one of those days. Again, it's cooler than normal and it's, windier than normal. So the ball has a tendency, unless you throw a lot of two-seamers, to be a little bit slick. Not the normal summer weather.
2-0 count. Wieters takes it. It's a strike. And it goes to 2-1. Matt Wieters having the tremendous finish here. Not going to go to 300. He needed a 5 for 5 today for that. But he's going to be very close to it in that 290s. And the pitch is up high. No place to put him. And a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Romero in a deep hole right here. He is a ground ball pitcher. 3-1 delivery on the way, and that is fouled off. Romero has induced more of the ground ball double plays than anyone else in the majors. 30 ground ball double plays.
And again, he's a rookie.
Boy, that'll save you a lot of innings and a lot of runs.
Well, that's what he's looking for, Matt. The leader on the Orioles is Wigginton with 16, but Matt, limited amount of bat, over about 350 now with 11 of them. 11 double play balls.
3-2 delivery. Wieters fouls it away. Wieters against Toronto, hitting .275 on the year. He has 2 home runs against the Jays, 7 RBIs. Orioles down a run. Bottom half of inning number 6, and a chance to go on top. Again, the 3-2. Wieters again fouls it off.
And if you're Jeremy Guthrie, this is the emotional roller coaster for pitchers. You're sitting on the bench. You're down by a run. You pitched pretty well. You're thinking, you know what? Hit right here. Walked. Tie the game up. Base hit's probably going to give me a lead. Maybe we'll have a big inning. Certainly hope that happens.
3-2 again. Wieters down to third. That is a fair ball. Going to come home. It's scooped. And they get the out. What a play by Barajas just to get one.
I'll tell you, they're going to get a double play if they take it. There's your curveball, ball 1. Fastball, ball 2. There's a strike. This one's going to be up and away. 3-1. 3-2. Bunch of foul balls. Just trying to stay alive, and there's your ground ball. Now it's a double play, but he comes home, so you're going to get the force run. Barajas makes a great play, but there's only one out, and the bases are still loaded.
Would have had an easy double play, even if the play comes home at that throw been solid. Bases remain loaded, 1 away. Now Nick Markakis, already a 2 RBI homer, his 18th of the year. He has 1 grand slam this year. 5 for 20 with the bases loaded. Grand slam home run and a double. The extra base hits he's had in bases loaded situations. 1 down. Still 3-2 Jays. That's in there for a strike to Markakis. Now if Romero can get another ground ball, he can get out of the inning.
Well, that's why it's so important for Matt Wieters playing behind him to get a big lead. Try to break up the double play if he can.
0-2.
Well, these are the kind of situations that Isidro Gaston would tell you, Dave Tremblay, as managers of respective clubs, when you really learn about a pitcher. Bases loaded, hot hitter at the plate, losing command of his stuff. He comes back, throws enough strike to get an out, gets ahead of the guy that's already homered, so he doesn't have to go back to that fastball, which is what Markakis hit back in the first inning.
0-2 delivery on the way.
Oh.
Breaking ball misses, and Romero goes down on both knees. He thought he had him.
I think it fooled everybody, including Nick and the umpire.
Very, very close.
Yes.
Close enough. Todd Tishner made it a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Markakis had 6 hits in his last 12 at bats, 5 RBIs over the last 3 games. That one down to first. He got jammed on it and fought it off. It'll stay at a ball and 2 strikes. Nick had the very cold month of September, picking it up a little in October. Justin Turner's come out of the on-deck circle, would be pinch hitting for Melvin Mora. There's Melvin on the bench. One-two delivery on the way. This is not going to get a run in. Shortstop will handle in McDonald. Boy, Romero gets a couple of enormous outs there. Bases loaded, nobody out. The Orioles have not scored, and now they're at 2 down. And you had Wieters and Markakis. Now I don't know why Melvin Moore is not going to hit here. Justin Turner is going to come on as the pinch hitter. Melvin's over there on the bench. That's Ty Wigginton. Jeremy Guthrie. This may be Moore's last game as an Oriole. And Dave Tremblay had talked before the game about trying to have a situation where Mora would come out of the game so he could be recognized by the crowd. Was going to take him out at third base after putting him on the field and bring him right back off or something. But for some reason, Melvin's over there, and Turner's going to pinch hit. 2 down, bases loaded. And that ball up the middle is going to be a base hit. It will score 1 and 2 as Robertson and Dino come in, a 2-out pinch hit single, and the Orioles go on top 4-3.
Well, it works out, I mean, beautifully for the Orioles. Justin Turner, line drive hitter, gets the foot down, just fights it off up the middle. Nobody's playing there. McDonald can't get to it. So Turner picks up the entire Oriole offense with that base hit. And again, the only thing I could imagine is that Melvin might have injured himself. Otherwise, you know.
Yeah. Just hard to believe. So a big hit by Turner. His first as a pinch hitter. Gets RBIs 2 and 3 in the year. Luke Scott. There are the numbers for Melvin Mora, as his career with the Orioles at least probably over. All-time 10th on the O's list in games, 2nd all-time games at 3rd, doubles 7th, RBIs 8th, and home runs 9th. All-time O's ranking for Melvin Mora.
Well, a marvelous run. One of the more productive players that the Orioles have had. In fact, the only guy, when you go back and look at that trade in 2000. Sid Thrift was the general manager at the time. B.J. Surhoff left, Bordick left. Lost a lot of key players. Charles Johnson to the White Sox.
Bordick was the Mora deal.
Yeah.
Luke Scott is flied out, struck out. And Luke on a check swing, foul tipped into the mitt. Luke said no, it hit the ground. Look at the ball. Catcher started to show him. Teshner said nope. 7 strikeouts for Romero. scoreboard. The fans stood up, gave him an ovation, and Melvin out on the top step of the dugout to acknowledge it. So Melvin out of the ball game, and we'll watch the rest on the bench. And for Jeremy Guthrie, chance to be a winner again as the Orioles have retaken the lead with the Turner pinch hit RBI single. We go to the 7th inning, and a shot into left field. That is way back at the wall. You believe this? Goodbye home run. It's tied up again. John McDonald delivers the homer. It is the 3rd surrendered by Jeremy Guthrie in the ball game, and we are tied one more time.
Well, you can see number 4 for John McDonald doesn't hit a lot, but again, look where the location is. Pretty much right down the middle. So again, a long inning, and Guthrie comes out and just elevates, and McDonald elevates, all tied at 4.
4 runs on 9 hits for the Jays, 4 runs on 5 hits for the Orioles. A leadoff homer 7th inning is Bautista. He's got a homer, a single, and has been called out on strikes. Jeremy Guthrie and the long ball, they just cannot be separated.
Opposing forces.
They are.
He throws them, they hit them. That's not good.
This is Guthrie's 4th game of the year against Toronto, and he has surrendered 6 home runs to them in the 4 games. That is taken outside, and a 3-ball 1-strike count.
I always try to go down and talk to the hitters of the opposition the day after he pitches, and I said, well, what's going on? And David Ortiz, I thought he made a good point. He said if Guthrie could have the intensity as far as the way he throws the ball to me, to everybody, and I think that's something he's going to have to work on. And the other thing,
got the strikeout.
Yeah. And Jose Bautista is saying, why me?
You can visit the all-new OriolesReach.com to read all about the Orioles' long-standing commitment to the community. Orioles Reach, the official online home of the Orioles. You get to browse the photo gallery, download the 09 report. It's at OriolesReach.com. Pitch is outside for a ball.
And the other thing they talk about is that the scouting report on Jeremy is, he's got a good fastball. It can tend to be straight if he doesn't finish his pitches, and he will eventually make a mistake. So it's not like he's down, and elevates when he gets ahead. He's up, and then when he's pitching well, he'll throw the ball down and away. He has to reverse that. And maybe in off season, you have to understand, his arm was broken last year. In other words, he got the 190 innings, but he couldn't pitch towards the end. It wasn't just tired arm. It was the fact that he had some injury. So it took him all winter long. Probably didn't work out as much because of the injury. So hopefully, he's healthy this year, just not pitching the way he's capable of, and he knows it.
199 innings if he gets through this one. Foul back. Yeah. Obviously, the Orioles want to give him a chance to, 1, get a win, and 2, the 200 innings pitched.
Well, he's got to make some good pitches, because the guy at the plate, if you elevate to Aaron Hill, it'll go out of here. He's one of the better high ball hitters in the American League.
Aaron Hill will take it high, but it's inside, and Guthrie surrenders the walk. And that'll be the first walk that Guthrie has given up in the ball game. And with that walk, that's a new high for him, career high in free passes for a season. That'll be number 59. That one will be fouled away. Encarnacion, a home run, a double, and been hit by a pitch. 1 down, a run in on the homer by John McDonald. The number 9 hitter led the inning off with it to tie the ball game up here in the 7th. An 0-1 count. And Encarnacion will take that inside, 1-1.
And it's no mystery what he likes to do. He likes to attack the fastball. So it's all right to throw it to him. Just keep it out of the middle of the plate. Down. There.
Shallow left center. Anybody see it? Anybody? Left fielder charging. Montanez gets it. He had the furthest to go when he makes the play.
Well, and the reason he makes it, Gary, is because he never gave up on it. You never ever can assume anything in baseball, and this is a perfect example. Young player, Andino's not going to get it. Right there, Fiorentino, he backs off. He's had a tough afternoon seeing the ball, and then to the rescue. blue. I tell you, those salsa lessons he was taking when he got called up, they pay off.
Oh, good moves. Runner going here, and that'll be a stolen base. No chance. Hill he was flying before Guthrie was even into the windup. So he gets on. That's the potential go-ahead run now down there at second base. Hill got a big lead. 6 stolen base, 6 out of 8. And the pitch is taken away by Vernon Wells. Wells an 0 for 3. He's had only 1 hit in this 3-game series, 1 for 12.
Well, he is looking to jerk everything. I have never seen him pull off and try to pull balls the way he has.
Guthrie gets it in, a 2-ball 1-strike count. Game tied at 4-4. Vernon Wells hitting .280 against the Orioles this year, has 3 home runs off them. Takes a wild cut at a pitch away, and the count goes to 2-2.
He's got 19 hits all year long to right field. 82 to left, 63 up the middle, and 19 the other way. You know what's on his mind, and he's only got 15 home runs.
Got him. So Guthrie will get the strikeout, his 5th, but the homer by McDonald has tied it. 7th inning stretch time brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly. Here at 7th inning stretch time. 4-4 ball game going to the bottom half of the 7th. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer back with you here for Guthrie. No small matter, Jim. It may be the last game of the season, but a chance to get a W and a chance to get out of a 4-game losing streak. He doesn't want to leave with 5 losses in a row.
He doesn't want to leave this game either.
No, he doesn't.
He wants 2/3 for 200, and he wants to win. And as long as the pitch count doesn't get over 115, if I'm Dave Tremblay and he feels fine, let him go. I think he's earned it. I think he's earned it because, again, it's not one of those years. This might be the type of the way baseball is that next year he'll make the same pitches. They'll pop them up. This year they're going out of the ballpark. And we've seen that. That's what now, 35, which leads the American League.
And maybe a little less pressure on him next year to feel as though that, at the age of 30, never having been the ace of a staff, given that role really by the Orioles when he's probably wasn't supposed to be that. Next year a little less pressure because he's got some other arms?
I think so, even though he may be the guy that pitches opening day, because you don't want to put pressure on the young guys. But I just think he'll come into the season prepared. They let him go to the WBC because they had 37 pitchers in camp, and they thought that he would actually get his innings. Again, the shoulder problems, it might not have gotten well, wasn't throwing the ball the way that he wanted to, and I think it carried over into the season. And then again, you have to understand, this is not the best of teams to play for. You don't get a lot of support from your bullpen. They have gotten more runs this year than last, but it's not a winning ball club you're playing on where you had a bad year. This is a club that struggles sometimes to win.
I agree with you. I think next year he comes back, some of these pitches that have traveled out of the yard won't. And that he could really have a really sensational season potentially for the Orioles.
Well, he's proven that he'll hang in there. It's been a tough year. He's backing up too many bases and throwing too many home runs. And, Chris Tillman in the foreground right here. I think, but Jeremy, he's got a chance still to be the leader on the staff, and he prepares himself to pitch. It's just been a tough year. It's ending, but I think you got to give him a lot of credit for hanging in there the way he has.
And he wants the win today, and very much in contention for it. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Game is tied at 4-4. Michael Aubrey leading it off. He's flied out twice in the ball game, and he will foul that one away. Two starters going at it here with Ricky Romero, a walk and 7 strikeouts. Guthrie, a walk and 5 strikeouts. And each team delivering runs via the home run primarily. 1-1 delivery, grounded down to first base. Overbay will take it to the bag. Aubrey is retired. One away here in the 7th inning. Hope you will join Melvin and Giselle Mora in their support of the Mount Washington Pediatric Hospital. The Melvin and Giselle Mora Charity Golf Tournament is going to take place on Tuesday at the Boulay Rock Golf Course in Havre de Grace. The registration begins at 7:30. Shotgun start at 9. Details 410-578-5040 as Melvin and his family continue their community involvement. Swung out a miss. Breaking ball down and away. Montanez has lined out and grounded out.
There's another young player. Again, the thumb injury on his lead arm, and that's such an important part of hitting. And they called him up because of lack of numbers in the outfield, and he wasn't ready to come back up here. So it's been a tough month. But he has shown when he is healthy that if you don't change speeds and you end up throwing balls out over the plate, he's going to hit them hard. How about that play that he made to save the infield and the outfield just last inning?
Outstanding catch in left field. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Top of the 8th inning. White Sox have scored 3. Detroit's lead has been cut to 5-3. And Minnesota's got a 7-0 lead over Kansas City in the 4th. They're playing top of the 8th in Detroit. Detroit wins. Division's theirs. 1-2 delivery on the way. Ground ball towards third. Encarnacion up. 2 down. 2 down, bases empty. Fiorentino will be coming up against Romero. Romero gave up the 2 RBI homer to Markakis in the 1st inning, then retired 13 in a row before he ran into trouble in the 6th. A 2-out RBI base hit by Justin Turner gave the Orioles a lead 4-3. And then the home run in the 7th inning hit by McDonald tied it up. Bautista's got a home run. Encarnacion's got a home run. Snyder's got an RBI double.
Man, Fiorentino started that inning. After strikeout the first time.
Battle got a base hit up the middle. Now he's batting with 2 down, nobody on, and a 2-0 count.
So he will look for something in the middle and just try to get the bat head out. Make a good swing.
Outside corner strike to him. 2-1. Orioles with a chance to sweep this 3-game set. They have won 3-game sweep against Toronto this year. The last time the Orioles swept a 3-game series was back on June 19, 20, and 21. Here's the 3-1 delivery. And Fiorentino works out the walk. Romero's given up 2. This one comes with 2 down. And it turns the lineup over. Brian Roberts at the top of the order coming up. Brian, a good finish as he's had 2 singles, a stolen base, and 2 runs scored in the ball game. 2 down, runner on at first. Romero's delivery to him is in the dirt for a ball. Brian is the leader in doubles with 56. Billy Butler second with 51, so that title should be Brian's. In runs, 110. Pedroia and Sean Figgins both have 114, sharing the lead starting the day. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Breaking ball is in there for a strike. Brian up among the leaders in extra base hits as he came in with 73. Has not added to that today. That's good enough to tie him for 6th in the league in extra base hits. Throw over and Fiorentino back. The average title is going to go to Mauer. Suzuki's not going to catch him. Ichiro. Teixeira Pena tied at 39 for homers. Yankees are playing today at Tampa Bay. Teixeira needs 1 more to have a home run title by himself. RBI. Mark Teixeira should have that, 122. Jason Bay with 118 is second. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Breaking ball in the dirt. Fiorentino started, goes back.
And that's exactly what you're taught to do is, again, the good primary, good secondary lead, ball in the dirt. At least be in a position to get to second. And then got a great read on it. Those are the instincts I don't think you teach. You teach them to do this all spring, but some guys go when they shouldn't. Jeff stayed exactly where he should have.
Romero's got a 2 ball, 1 strike count on Brian Roberts. And he will take the pitch up high, and it goes to 3-1.
Yeah, these are the circumstances where maybe that 57 double is going to score Fiorentino, who can run it first. Gapper, right center, blows away from Wells, who's playing the pull. A couple of steps into left center.
Right at the plate, fouled off. So 3-2. Fiorentino will be running a 4-4 ball game in the bottom half of the 7th inning. You see Overbay checking to see whether they want him to hold. They do not. He goes behind the runner. Three-two delivery. Roberts takes it. Third walk of the game. Back-to-back walks here in the 7th inning. Now the Orioles get the potential go-ahead run down to second. Andino coming up after a visit to the mound.
Well, double-barreled action in the bullpen for the Jays as Brad Arnsberg will come out and have a conversation. Pitch count at 105, so it's certainly getting up there.
Long discussion held there. Jason Frazier and Sean Camp in the bullpen.
Yeah, Frazier the closer, Camp a setup guy.
Romero has thrown 8 consecutive ball games. This is the 9th now where he's gone over 100 pitches in all those games. He averages 103 pitches per start. So Andino will try and get a run in. Strike called on the outside corner. Orioles need 1 to get that lead back. Andino's drawn a walk and scored. He has grounded out and struck out. 0-1 count on him. Romero gets him to go after one, down and away, and a 2-strike count.
Well, this is a young pitcher getting out a young hitter. Tells you how difficult it is to hit. Robert Andino, better fastball hitter, and he's just pulling the string. Curveballs, changeups.
Runners off first and second. The 0-2 delivery. Same place. Andino does not go after it this time in a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Well, we saw Brad Arnsberg when I first saw Romero. I said, tell me about him. He said he's a young Santana because of that changeup. Very athletic, doesn't throw quite as hard. Hadn't won 2 Cy Youngs either yet. But he's got the changeup that kind of slows the bat down when he's pitching well.
1-2 delivery on the way to him. Swung on, foul tipped into the mitt. And that will be strikeout number 8 for Romero in the ballgame. The Orioles leave a couple on, 4-4. Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Well, this has been a ball game in which the wind and sun have played a part. Montanez with a tremendous catch of Arcanacion as he came out of left field, literally, to put that one away.
Well, you can see Andino dive out of the way because he must have called him off, and then it's great to call it off. Sometimes you don't always catch it. He certainly did there. So Guthrie needs 2 outs.
That one to the hole. Turner.
Nice little range there to his left.
Overbay retired.
Yeah, he jams. I mean, Guthrie, Jeremy making a real good pitch on his fist. Great angle right here. You can just see it sliced. And then here's your third baseman. No way for Andino to get to it. Pretty routine.
And there's one down. Barajas 0 for 3 in the ball game.
Well, look at that 19 home runs. Only in 2005 when he played for the Rangers did he hit more home runs. Doesn't hit too well with runners in scoring position. Better than some of the other guys. It's about the long ball average. Yep. In fact, below average at 227 coming in. But look at these numbers when you get behind him. Comes a lot better here.
In the air and in the yard. Fiorentino circles it. Look how much that ball is blown in. And there are 2 down. Time to text in your vote. AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates. As Nick Markakis has the 2 RBI homer in the ball game. Turner's got a 2 RBI base hit with the bases loaded. And Ruiz has delivered 3 for 3, 2 doubles and a single today. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 518-62.
So there's your 200 innings. Now get yourself a win for Jeremy Guthrie.
That'll be on the outside part of the plate, and he couldn't hit it.
Well, that's another one of the pitches that early on for Jeremy Guthrie was a problem pitch, the slider.
That one through the wickets. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Ruiz trying to go 4 for 4. He's already extended his hit streak to 7 in the ball game today with the 2 doubles and a single. He has scored a run. That's going to be taken down low. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Jesse Carlson, the left-hander, is now up in the bullpen.
And that average, with the 3 for 3, up to 316. That's when you only have 111 at bats coming into the game. What can happen? It's right here, it's a dangerous count to a home run hitter.
3-1 delivery on the way inside. Second walk surrendered by Guthrie in the game. Comes with 2 down here in the 8th inning, and it'll bring up Snyder. Travis Snyder, a double and an RBI in the 4th inning, 1 for 3 in the ball game, and that's going to be it for Jeremy Guthrie. So Dave Tremblay will make his way out. Guthrie will be coming out of the ball game. He has given the Orioles a chance to win, but he is not going to have a chance to win the ball game himself. The fans will recognize him as he heads off. Castillo for the Orioles.
That comes in as a left-handed specialist. You got Snyder at the plate. And they've done a pretty decent job. I mean, the number's not overwhelming, but only 25 at bats. Lefty's hitting 280. There's a good breaking ball. He will give you a different arm angle if you're left-handed versus right-handed up on top against the righties.
Snyder 231 off left-handers, 244 right-handers for the rookie. Runner at first base. There are 2 down. And the breaking ball is in there for a strike. Castillo comes on and gets ahead 0-2. So Guthrie goes out, having pitched just enough to make that 200 inning mark on the season, but unfortunately not a chance to win a ball game. Outside, 1 ball 2 strike count. Snyder, then McDonald, 8 and 9 in the order, with 2 away here in the 8th. Ruiz on at first base, short lead. 1-2 delivery. Jammed to McGutty. So Castillo gets the strikeout. That will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. 4-4. MASSonsports.com and click on the Sarasota Beyond the Beaches banner for details on a chance to win a 3-day 2-night trip for 2 to Sarasota, Florida. Spring training home starting next spring for the O's. Jesse Carlson comes on. Romero out, 4 runs on 5 hits over 7, 3 walks and 8 strikeouts.
Well, 6th in the American League in appearances, those 66 2/3 innings. They come over 72 appearances, leads the club with 12 holds, not having the kind of year he had last year. Boy, he came on the scene out of the minor leagues, signed as a free agent back in 2007, and then last year 69 games, 7-2 with a 2.25 ERA. League's caught up with a little bit. And again, a guy that kind of jumps at you, gives you all kinds of different arm angles.
Orioles in the bottom half of the 8th inning will have Matt Wieters, Nick Markakis, and Justin Turner due up. Wieters, a couple of strikeouts, hit into a fielder's choice. And the pitch is outside for a ball.
Well, the formula is very easy. You get a run and let Jim Johnson, who's warming up, come in and try to get another save. He threw the ball about as well as he has last night. Of course, you got to get that run.
Both teams have had an opportunity with a lead in this game, but it is seesawed back and forth.
It's about the time that we see Matt Wieters, Carlson get something up. The wind gusting to right field. He get great power that way. Some breaking ball around the outside corner for ball 2.
Wieters 1 for 2 off the left-hander Carlson. They continue to keep Wieters hitting against the lefties whenever possible. Delivery is outside. As Matt, as a switch hitter this season, 254 right-handed and 315 left. 6 of his 9 homers coming from the other side of the plate, left-handed. 3-1 delivery on the way, popped it foul. The Tigers have the 5-3 lead, 9th inning at home. White Sox are getting their maybe final at bats, and Minnesota's still got the lead over Kansas City. Tuesday night
or afternoon, whatever. Again, I heard 4 o'clock. I don't know if that's going to be a hard number.
And walked him.
And you can't do it. Yeah, you can't do it on Monday because they have Monday Night Football. So there's your lead runner. Will they pinch run? Got 3 catchers on the roster.
Carlson walks the first man he faces. Nick Markakis, a home run his first time up, 1 for 3. No pinch runner coming on.
Well, there's not a lot of available speed because of PA's leg problem. And then, of course, if you put Asturis in, yeah. Well, I tell you, ever since they did that down in Tampa Bay with Clay Buchholz, I used to do a lot of pinch running when I came up. And first time I ever took the lead in Yankee Stadium, Tony Kubek was the shortstop. He goes, "Don't get picked off, kid." And my lead, it had. Pretty good point.
Yeah.
Pretty intimidating.
0-1 delivery on the way. That's going to be foul back. Yeah, the Orioles really, I guess you could put his Taurus in.
Yeah. Well, but then you lose an infielder.
Yeah.
I mean, Moeller doesn't run well. Rodriguez, Guillermo, we caught last night, doesn't run well.
That's it.
And you're kind of short because you've already put Turner in for Mora.
Yep. Really, his Taurus as a pinch runner is the only one you would use in that role.
Well, Brian Mattis is well rested.
Yeah. That ball's going to be a base hit into left field. Nick Markakis. Snyder will get it back in. The Orioles have runners at first and second against Carlson with nobody out.
Yeah, the interesting thing when they did pinch run the Red Sox down in Tampa Bay is that Clay Buchholz apparently is almost as fast as Jacoby Ellsbury. But what he doesn't have are the base running instincts. So that's where you get in trouble.
And if you're a manager and do that and somebody gets, like a Buchholz gets hurt,
oh, yeah,
you will never hear the end of it.
So what do you do here if you're Dave Tremblay? If you bunt them over, and they are playing in for the bunt, you put a lot of pressure. They'll probably pitch to Luke Scott, but I take my shots the way he's hit lefties. If they walk him, you still. Then you got Michael Aubrey, another lefty.
Shows bunt, drops it foul. Turner had the 2 RBI pinch hit in the 6th inning that for the moment put the Orioles up 4-3. Now being asked for his first sacrifice of the year, with Wieters the lead runner at second and Markakis at first.
Well, the one thing about bunting, the bat has to be in fair territory. You have to have an angle where the barrel's higher than the handle. But if you don't get the bat head out in front of home plate, the angle is such as you can't bunt it fair. Then you have to stab at it. You almost have to move up into the batter's box to do that if you don't bunt a lot.
Overbay way in at first base. Swinging away, it'll be foul back. Overbay kept watching as he was coming in, and when he didn't see the hands going up with the bat, he started backing up, and an 0-2 count.
And because you don't have a lot of speed at second, that's probably why Dave Tremblay let Turner hit away. Everybody's looking for a bunt, and maybe you get a pitch to bunt, and it's a little bit more difficult to bunt a guy that doesn't have great speed to third base.
Now an 0-2 count from Carlson. And a little house cleaning.
Yeah, the shadows, I mean, they have crept where the last, about a foot or so. Of course, you're picking the ball up a lot earlier than that. It goes from the sun, and that shadow will move out towards the mound, make it even more difficult as the game progresses.
Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way.
Well, there's a Jose Bautista strike. He's been called out on 2 pitches like this. Not sliders, but a little bit out of the strike zone by an inch or so.
One down, still first and second, tie game. Luke Scott. Scott has had a tough time at the plate in the game. He has struck out twice and flied out. He has had a question about the strike zone all day with Todd Titchener, the home plate umpire. And Luke in the last at bat went after a couple of pitches that really weren't close. Probably concerned about getting one to hit because the strike zone is so big. That one to center right on the money. Wells, Adam ball. 2 down.
Well, that's hitting in tough luck. A screamer, but right at the 3-time Gold Glover. Up to either of the alleys, both guys are going to score.
Well, it'll have to be a 2-out RBI if the Orioles are going to get it here. The home run by Markakis in the first inning, that came with 2 down. The 2 RBI single by Turner, bases loaded, that came with 2 down. And now there are 2 down, runners on at first and second. Michael Aubrey is 0 for 3. And that is in there for a strike. Tigers have done their part. They beat the White Sox 5-3. Minnesota leading KC 7-1. 5th inning. Here's the 0-1. Outside with it, and a 1-ball 1-strike count.
Baseball is such an intriguing game because, you know, last year when Carlson had that 2.25 ERA, that line drive probably was right at all of his outfielders, and then probably earlier this year it was finding holes. They do have that service that actually, you know, on your scorecard, or as far as getting a guy out, that's an out, but they actually keep track of whether the ball was hit hard, whether the guy had to make an outstanding play, and it helps you if you're trying to formulate a team for the next year of really evaluating a player. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Not much gets missed anymore on the reports that come through for every ball club. 1-ball 2-strike count, runners off first and second. Carlson, long look back. In the air again. Wells. He's got it. So the Orioles got the first 2 on, but they could not push ahead the go-ahead. It remains tied to the 9th. Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. Sunday afternoon, final day, regular season. Looks like there will be a playoff game on Tuesday, so the championship season will go on with Minnesota and Detroit, probably. Here's Sarfate out of the bullpen as the Orioles go to the 9th inning, tie game.
Well, a pleasant surprise. Stress fracture in his throwing right shoulder in the clavicle area last year. So, you know, actually came to spring training, pitched pretty well. Then he had the circulatory problems, had to go into the stable list for a couple of months. Velocity not where it was last year early on, but it's come back. I was talking to him today. He's going to be going to Mexico to pitch for a month next Sunday. But I'll tell you what, his windup's better, command's better, velocity coming back. He was in the mid-90s the other day in Tampa Bay.
John McDonald with a home run in the ball game. He got it in the 7th inning and tied it up. He's 1 for 3 in the game. He's had 5 hits and 11 at bats in this series. Sarfate working against him. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Popped up infield right near the mound. First baseman. Aubrey's got it, and that will be the first out. Well, the Orioles pitchers in this ball game. Guthrie, the long ball again, but he gave the Orioles a chance to win. They still have it. Now up to the bullpen yet one more time, Jim.
Yeah, and I thought Andy McPhail did a great job of describing it. He said the bullpen is very mercurial. In other words, from year to year, you just don't know what you're going to get. A couple of years ago, we went out and got Bradford, got Baez, who probably has pitched as well as anybody, especially over the second half. Seems to be healthy, but he's not coming back. Hendrickson, at least, is not coming back until they re-sign those guys. So, but it's getting better. There's been some bright spots, and to me, Sarfati has the kind of stuff. And now the temperament, because he was, as he would self-described, a high amp type of guy where he'd come in, overthrow everything, and he's learning to pitch a little bit better.
Interesting comment made by Dave Tremblay in the pregame press conference that he had today regarding Jim Johnson, who currently is the closer. He said next year we need him in a position where he's more comfortable. And he was asked, was he more comfortable, do you think, in the setup role than as a closer? And Tremblay said yes, and then went on to say there's also discussion about whether Jim Johnson should be a starter rather than work out of the bullpen.
Well, he would rather do that.
Yeah.
He looks at himself as a guy that's sitting, at least early on in this game, guy that won the Cy Young Award in 2003. He said, why couldn't I be, and I mean, this is your highest ceiling, be like Roy Halladay, where I can sink the ball and I can learn to give my team a lot of easy outs, a lot of ground balls, pitch 200 innings.
That's a way to get a pitch, don't you think?
Yeah.
Bautista goes down waving.
So you do have, and that's 3 times today. Chris, the one time, well, actually make it 2 times today. No, 3. 3 with a home run and a single. This is a cut fastball that Sarfati's looking on, so you think it's going to be on the outside corner, and that was a wave. Very much like the flag today. It's waving because of the wind here in Camden Yards.
2 quick outs.
Well, you know what they say on the bench.
What?
Hi, if you're waving at me.
No, just no ground, no given.
No, not at all.
Fouled away, 0-1 count. Aaron Hill, always the danger for the long ball in this situation where he'll be swinging to try and give him a lead. He's 0 for 3 with a walk in the ball game against Sarfati in the game. Hill on the season 1 for 2. 2 down in the 9th. Down and away to him 0-2.
So those are just some quality pitches.
They had on the count 2 strikes. Inside.
See what happens when he overthrows? He falls off. He was looking under his front shoulder over at Mike Aubrey at first base. But I think the one thing that I noticed in talking to Dennis Sarfati is that he knows it now. I mean, he's got some better checkpoints.
Here's the 1-2 delivered to Hill. Ground ball. Knocked down. Sarfati gets it and gets the out. 1-2-3 inning. Orioles need 1 to win it. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Montañez, the Orange.
Markakis again. He hit his 18th home run on the season today. But speaking of home runs, Jeremy Guthrie gives up 3 more, but leaves the game tied. That's the only good thing about that.
Orioles have lost the last 3 years on the final day of the season. They're trying to change that today. Back to the booth for the exciting conclusion. Let's rejoin Gary and Jim.
We go to the bottom of the ninth, Jim, as it's tied 4-9-0 the Jays, 4-6-0 for the Orioles, and inning work for Carlson. He gave up one hit, a walk, and a strikeout, and now Sean Camp comes on.
Yeah, Camp, you can look at the numbers. The one-loss record not where you want, but you know, another guy, and you look, J.P. Ricciardi was let go after 8 years, but the one thing he went out and got Frazier from the Dodgers for Jason Worth. He's their closer. They went out and got Camp as a free agent, got Accardo from the Giants. So they've gotten guys to try to augment their bullpen, and the numbers for Camp, gets righties out, they're only hitting .218, lefties a little bit higher at .259. Last appeared and wasn't good against the Red Sox, 2/3 of an inning on the 29th of September. 4 hits, 4 runs, a home run, and a base on balls. They don't need that much. Yeah.
This is the 6th game he's appeared in against the Orioles. He's only worked 3 2/3 innings, a run on 3 hits against him. Towering fly ball left field. Montanez gave it a ride, but it's in the yard, and it will be handled by Snyder for the out. 1 pitch and 1 out, bottom of the 9th inning. Let's update you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game on this final one of the 09 season. Right now, it's Justin Turner on top with a big 2 RBI hit that he had. You can still text in your vote for A, B, or C, 51862. Final results coming up on O's Extra. Jeff Fiorentino. Fiorentino has a single, a walk, and he is struck out. Camp's pitch will be outside to him. Orioles are trying to make it 4 in a row at the end of the year, including the 3-game sweep against the Jays if they can get it here.
If they win today, they will have been 8-1 at home against the Blue Jays after being 1-8 in Toronto. Kind of a turnaround, wouldn't you say?
And we'll even up the season against Toronto at 9-9. Strike taken to Fiorentino. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
And the Blue Jays had come in with a 6-game winning streak. They've gone up to Boston and swept 3.
They've continued to use the long ball. That's what they did during the streak. 1-2 delivered. With the 3 home runs they've hit today, that's 19 home runs in the last 6 games hit by the Jays. But it hasn't been enough yet. 4-4. Cito Gaston finishing up here, and the players, coaches will all disperse. That ball to right, knocked down by Hill, and a fine pick by Overbay at first. Nice play each end of that one.
Yeah, nice combination. Tough. We talked about the fly balls, the pop-ups today with a wind, but again, it's also, you're looking into the sun right here, so Hill, a very good all-around player. Again, very much like Brian Roberts. Probably Pedroia usually gets the Gold Glove, at least did last year. But do you think there's not intensity even in the scheduled last inning of the last game of the year for teams that aren't going to the postseason? You get much better than that play.
Two down, Brian Roberts, and he will take it for a strike. Brian, 2 singles, 2 runs scored. He has stolen a base and drawn a walk. 2 for 3 in the ball game. Brian hitting at .283, not going to reach that 60 doubles mark. Still, the 56 will lead the American League, set a new mark for the Orioles, passing his own record, and a new mark for a switch hitter, second baseman.
Yeah, Oriole MVP for the 2nd time, 2005, then this year. And you can see Sean Kemp just trying to pinpoint that outside corner. 18 home runs, 16 coming into this at bat this year. 18 back in 2005.
Here's the delivery by Camp, and that'll be fouled into the seats. 17,969 the announced attendance here on the final day of the year. Orioles up around 1.8 million for the attendance figure on the year. It's been a great day to be out at the ballpark. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Camp. Roberts watches it go by. 2-2. Roberts 3 for 6 lifetime off Camp. 2-2 delivery. Full count, 3-2.
We told you about lefties hitting them better. I think they see the ball better. I'm not sure they do it today. Again, one of those difficult times of the day to hit. Sunshine into the shade.
3-2 to Roberts, and he's on with a walk. So Brian Roberts with 2 down gets his second walk of the ball game. The Orioles here in the ninth needing 1 to win it. Robert Andino coming up. Andino 0 for 3 and a walk with a run scored. 2 RBIs Marquegas, 2 RBIs for Turner, accounting for the 4 runs for the Orioles. 2 down, bottom of the ninth. Roberts back. Overbay did not have the ball in the glove when he tagged him in any event. Thinking Roberts, even with 2 down here in the bottom of the ninth, might take off. Camp throwing over.
Yeah, I think the important thing for Sean Camp is to make him stop. You know, you can throw over all you want, but you just want to keep Brian from doing what he does best, which is getting that jump lead, that little bit of a run. He'd just cheat and go.
Chop foul. Strike 1 on Andino. Brian Roberts, not a particularly big lead on that last pitch. Here's the 0-1 delivery to him. Slider outside. Camp wants a new ball. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Yeah, they've only attempted 1 stolen bases off Sean Camp. He is very, very quick to the plate. And then, as we have talked throughout the series, Barajas thrown out 27. Last night, 38% of the guys that tried to steal.
1-1 delivery to him. Andino takes a strike in the outside corner. That has been an arguable point for hitters on both sides with the home plate umpire today. That one down and away. And it goes to 1-2 on Andino. You can see the shadows now completely covering the home plate section of the field. So that ball's really coming out of the sunlight into the shadow to midway point. Roberts has not extended the lead. Still the throw. One and 2. That one into left field is going to be a base hit. So Andino comes through. Roberts, the run that matters, down at second base with 2 away for Wieters.
Yeah, Robert Andino earlier on back in the 6th, he gets a walk to load him up. Hadn't got a base hit to that point. So right here, scuffling. Not playing that much. Foot down, picks it up. Had a good pitch to hit into left field.
Wieters 0 for 1 off Camp. A base hit here could win it. Brian Roberts with good speed, the lead runner at second base. Wieters has struck out twice, hit into a fielder's choice, and drawn a walk. So the Orioles trying to finish it right here. Matt Wieters with a chance for the game-winning RBI. Outfield and left and center move in a couple of steps. Bautista stays back and right. 0-2.
And a couple of change-ups.
0-2 delivery on the way. Wieters ground ball. That may not. Here's the throw by Hill and a good play. Not quite hard enough. No runs on one hit. No errors. 2 are left on base. It's free baseball time. Jays 4-9-0, and we go to extra innings. The Orioles have gone 4-7 in extra inning ball games this year. The Jays are 7-12, so the 20th extra inning ball game on the season for Toronto.
More bang for your buck.
This is free baseball.
Yeah. More bang for your buck at the plate right now, because Encarnacion, he's going to come up and try to helicopter on Dennis Sarfate, who came in and pitched a very, very ninth inning. Good, nice ninth inning.
Retired the side in order in the ninth. Encarnacion's home run came in the first inning. He, Bautista, and McDonald have all homered. All were solo shots. The other RBI and a Snyder double, as Toronto came back in the 7th inning to tie it up on the McDonald home run. That is fouled away. Encarnacion also is doubled, hit by a pitch and flied out. He got robbed by Montanez on that catch we showed you, where he came all the way from left to shallow center to make the catch. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Encarnacion takes the fastball inside. Guthrie, 4 runs, 9 hits, 7 2/3, non-decision. Castillo, 3rd of an inning with a hit and a strikeout. Sarfate has a strikeout in the inning worked. Romero for Toronto started, 4 runs, 5 hits over 7. Carlson worked an inning, 1 hit, a walk, and a strikeout. And Sean Camp now on. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Encarnacion takes it inside, a leadoff walk here in the 10th. Only 3 walks surrendered by the 3 pitchers. Guthrie gave up a couple. Sarfate 1 now. And that'll bring up Wells 0 for 4.
And you know he's not going to be bunting. They will not be giving you an out here. Or if they do, I'd be very surprised.
No, I would too.
Justin Turner playing about 5 paces behind third base, so nobody anticipating the bunt.
Vernon Wells 1 for 3 off the Oriole reliever. Wells not had a good series, 1 for 13. Pitches inside for a ball.
Well, this windup that was so good last inning, and this could be also the fact he's pitching his 2nd inning, gone a little awry here, so the command with it. It's all about falling off. You see him spin left, ball's going to run. Don't stay behind your pitches.
Vernon Wells will have to wait, throw to first, runner back. 15 home runs, 37 doubles for Wells, 66 RBIs, 261 batting average. No snap throw over to first, and Encarnacion back again. Sarfati trying to set the stage for a double play here. Get the ground ball off Wells with nobody out. 1-0 delivery to him. That will be on the inside corner for a strike. With those glasses on, when that ball comes out of the sun, it's got to be pretty dark.
Well, they don't look like you can get those glasses that give you kind of like when you ski on a real flat day that brighten things. They don't appear to be that. Maybe they are.
1-1 delivery, ground ball to short. Ryan Roberts, double play.
And Wells didn't even run. Pretty embarrassing right there. He's either got to be hurt. Got to be a reason. I mean, you're going to get the out at second. But he's just trotting down.
It's pretty bad.
Well, he looks like he's limping, so something's going on.
Dragging that.
Yeah, all
right
kinds
leg,
of hamstring problems last year. This year, I was talking to him yesterday, came through the season unscathed physically, maybe not emotionally because he didn't have the kind of year he wanted to have.
Here is Lyle Overbay, 2 down, nobody on, 10th inning. Overbay's had an 0 for 4. He's played in 2 of the 3 games and gone 0 for 7. And the pitch outside to him, 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Well, another decision for the Orioles, and you saw it right there, is that Robert Andino can play shortstop. He can pick with it. You just wonder, again, in this division, he's a utility guy. He's got to hit a little bit better. And that's been the difficulty.
Check swing and looked like he went around, and he did. Third base umpire Bill Hahn with a call.
Of course, for Roberts' defense, when he played 31 consecutive games when Aristuris was out with the appendectomy, he actually swung the bat a lot better than he did as a utility guy. That's the swing you talked about. So now you can pretty much go where you want if you command your stuff. If you're Dennis Sarfati, stay out of the home run zone.
1-2, a miss down low, close. 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Well, it shows me he's got an idea of what he wants to do. You know, when you're pitching well, you execute, and when you're not, you struggle.
Hannon Albers. And swung on a miss. So faces only 3 to spread a leadoff walk as Overbay. Second strikeout. 10 season by making your deposit now for full or partial plans. You can enjoy some great savings. You make your deposit now, you get an autographed picture of Matt Wieters. Experience the best savings, access, VIP treatment, and more. The Orioles' full or partial season plans are available. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. Jose Bautista's gone to center, so Wells, who saw him trying to run, didn't get it done, is out, and Joe Inglet has come on to play in right field. Camp still on the mound, and Nick Markakis against him, takes it to right center field. Inglet coming. He's got him. Welcome to the game.
Yeah, right before the pitch was thrown, you could see us putting his glove up because, again, this is a tough sun field. Batting practice, day games used to start the Saturday afternoon games about 20 minutes from now. So a guy that can go get him in the outfield makes it look pretty easy. A sliding running catch.
Be ready to play, and he was. Turner, a big 2 RBI single in the 6th inning with the bases loaded, 2 out. That gave the Orioles a 4-3 lead. McDonald answered in the 7th to tie the ball game up, and the pitch will be taken outside. Justin Turner, who's going to get a little look-see by the Orioles and will be in the discussions. 24 years old, Norfolk, AAA, 300. Down to third and foul.
Yep. That's why he's on the Phillies Wall of Fame up there. Well, not really, because he could hit and steal bases. Good play, second base. 2.
All around
Juan Samuel.
All around outstanding player, and he could fly. 1-1 delivery. That'll be fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Turner. 1 hit, 1 walk in the 9th inning off Camp by the Orioles. And a 1 ball, 2 strike count here on Turner with Luke Scott waiting on deck. And a strike on the outside corner.
Well, you could see why Sean Camp has been effective for the Blue Jays, because he can make some pitches. Look at this breaking ball. Starts it on the middle of the plate, just kind of meanders to the outside corner. Nice pitch.
Luke Scott. Orioles need just 1 to have a victory here in this final game of the season. Scott's had an 0 for 4. 2 fly ball outs, couple of strikeouts. Luke Scott still has a 6-game hit streak. He missed the last 2 ball games with that foot that was bothering him. Back in for this one. The only thing that's bothered him today has been the strike zone.
And you would think, even though Michael Aubrey's with 4 home runs in the last 2 weeks, one of them against Toronto, that Camp would be staying down and away, right on the outside corner, right there.
At to second base, Hill's got it. 360 move, and that's it. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the 11th inning. came over, had problems playing in the outfield, getting good at bats, had great speed and a lot of talent. He got recognized with the Orioles as when he got a chance to play, he would hit for the cycle and would put up some very solid numbers and dramatic improvements in his play in the outfield. For Felix Piet, pretty good 09 season. We go to the 11th inning.
Yeah, it showed why he was such a highly touted prospect in the Cubs organization. 299 minor league batting average for Felix. Matt Alberts. There you go. I mean, should be, if he can command his stuff, an important part of the Oriole bullpen. You know, he was called out by Dave Tremblay that for maybe not being in as good a shape, told him that he needs to show up in spring training in better shape than he's been. To me, that's only a symptom of the problem. The problem is, how did that happen? Because there were a couple of other guys too. So, you know, you have to examine that. Some guys have good self-discipline, some don't. And you ought to know that. And you ought to take the avenues and do the things you need to do to make sure that that maintains. Now, it does help to have a guy that is aware of it, and I think he's aware that he better change what's going on.
I think that's been made pretty clear.
Yeah, it really has.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit unfair in a sense, but again, if you want to win and you have to have your players playing at the best they
Maximum
can.
efficiency.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, part of it is trying to control the variables you can control, and conditioning is one of them.
That ball on a check swing will be fouled back. Rod Barajas leading it off here in the 11th inning. He's had an 0 for 4, 1 for 7 in the series. Matt Alberts working against him. Manager pretty happy down there. 1 ball, 2 strike count, and that's outside, and it'll go to 2-2. Fans hanging in for the extra inning ball game. Minnesota still leading Kansas City 8-4 their game. Detroit's already won 2-2. Jammed him. That'll be fouled off, and it goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Matt Alberts, he's been around for a while. I mean, the Orioles got him in the Tejada trade, but what I see is that when I was taught, the way he puts his hand in his glove, you can almost see the difference between the sinker and his breaking ball, because the hand in his glove it's not way up in the webbing of the glove.
Got him on a strike ball.
And if he would make that pitch right there, you could say, Matt, and it's kind of what they told Mickey Lolich. Of course, Mickey Lolich was pitching 356 innings, and he said, waiting what you want. He just hadn't been able to do that. But he has the stuff to pitch up here. He doesn't have the command, and you got to figure out what it is.
One down in the 11th.
Right there. I mean, that's as good a sinker as you can throw.
Here's Ruiz, 2 doubles, a single, and a walk. Perfect day for the veteran minor league catcher who's having a fine final month with the big club.
And when
he scored in the 4th with his 2nd double.
And when it comes to right-handed hitters, very few right-handed hitters hit the ball down better than the ball up. So Matt Alberts is a guy that would match up perfectly with right-handed hitters if he can stay out of being up in the strike zone. The one thing, if you look though, lefties are hitting 345, and that's just too hot.
Ruiz has faced Alberts a couple of times, 0 for 2 off him. 1 ball, 1 strike count in the 11th. Aim down and in. Not going to hit that one in a 1 ball, 2 strike count on Ruiz. He just shakes his head, turning away.
Well, no chance at all. And again, another great sinker. Just run. And again, Ruiz is the perfect guy to do that because he's a big free swinger.
Alberts with a 1-2. And Ruiz just gets enough to foul it back.
He's leaning back. Yep. 96. And move it.
Ruiz Hackett. Here's the 1-2 on the way. And got him to go after one outside. Alberts gets the strikeout, 2 of them here in the 11th inning. 3 Jays in a row now have struck out. And there are 2 down. Not in the strike zone, but you saw how close it got to the plate before it fell out of the strike zone. Snyder in the game has doubled in a run. He's 1 for 4. He's had 3 hits and 11 at bats in this series. Second base, Brian Roberts. Good job by Matt Albers. Orioles coming up bottom half of the 11th. It'll be new training site, Sarasota, Florida. You can visit Orioles.com, sign up to receive the latest news, tickets, and travel packages. Make your plans to enjoy spring training 2010. Sun and Fun, Sarasota. Find out about it, Orioles.com, for all the details. Brandon League, 67th game for League. Camp worked 2 innings. He gave up a walk, had a walk and a strikeout and 1 hit. Now League is on to work, and Michael Aubrey will be up against him. Then Montañez and Fiorentino do up.
Well, a hard thrower with a lot of movement. Inning last night, a good inning. Gave up a hit, strikeout.
Aubrey's taken the 0 in the ball game and 0 for 4. He's faced League a couple of times and gone 0 for 2 against him. 1 ball, 1 strikeout on Aubrey. Outfield deep, swung around a bit the other way towards left, actually, in the outfield. Here's the 1-1 delivery by League, and he hits it the other way. Base hit. So Aubrey leadoff single in the bottom half of the 11th inning.
Well, late in the game, a lot of times you will crowd the line to take away the double. And that's what Lyle Overbay does. A ball hit sharply. Pretty timely hit. And see if they can move him over. Everybody looking for a bunt. Why not?
Montañez will be after his first sacrifice probably here.
Well,
He's had an 0 for 4 in the game.
I can tell you what's going to happen if he gets him over. They're not going to walk Fiorentino, but if they get him out, they'll walk Brian Roberts to get to Andino, and then I think maybe we'll see Asturis. We can all go home. He's been so hot.
And he did not show bunt and takes the pitch away for a ball, and I think he missed the sign. Juan Samuel immediately goes, come here, we need a talk.
Yeah, bad news, he missed the sign. The good news is it was ball 1. I mean, just think about it, and this is what I think you have to see from the young Oriole players, that if in this situation you don't see the bunt, you call timeout and go down, and because that's the right play. You got to get your guys thinking in the right frame of mind, and I think that's something that if you can't teach it.
There is going to get one down.
Yes.
But it's a back up by Hill that saves the day. Good play by Hill to get over there and back that up, or Aubrey would have been over at third base. They don't get an out, but the runner doesn't get to go to third.
Doesn't matter how many times you practice it. You don't do it that much during the season. I mean, he gets to it easily right here, and just he throws it off his opposite foot and never takes that little crow hop and just floats it over his head right to Aaron Hill.
Now 2 on, nobody out. Playing bunt first and third on Fiorentino. He's had a single, 1 for 3 and a walk. He does square. He takes it inside for a ball. Aubrey's the lead runner at second, the potential winning run here in the bottom of the 11th inning. Brandon League. The bunt fouled off. Overbay was almost in the batter's box with Fiorentino.
Yeah, I was talking to Jeff today. I said, boy, you really need to work on your bunting in the offseason. Lives down in the Fort Lauderdale area. I said it'd just make you a more complete player. And I don't even mean sacrificing, that's obviously, but again, you got to get the bat out in front of home plate, which you did in there. But I'm just talking about bunting for base hits.
Fiorentino probably still bunting here. Aubrey off second. Overbay charging at first. Really charging. Good bunt. Got it the right way. Play's got to be at first. In the dirt again. Here comes Aubrey. The Orioles win it. 5-4. They have swept the series and end the year with a 4-game win streak.
Well, the Achilles heel for Brandon League, the bunt. Another flat-footed throw, but at the end of the day, it's Aubrey with a base hit, and then the little things. Montanez makes a nice bunt. Fiorentino deadens it. Wasn't an easy play, but should have been made, and the Orioles win.
2 errors committed by League, and an unearned run will wrap it up. And there's your final line of the 08 season. 5-8-0 for the Orioles, 4-9-2 for the Jays. The Orioles end it with a 4-game win streak and a 3-game sweep. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew, thanks everybody for a great season. Spring training is just around the corner. We bid you adieu from Camden Yards. This has been a massive presentation. Now it's on to 2010. But in between, but a couple of smiles. Hose Extra is coming up next. Jim and Rick standing by from Camden Yards. See ya.